Okay, news that's coming in at the top of the hour. Arvind Kejriwal has been remanded to ED custody till April 1st. Remember, the Enforcement Directorate had sought 7 days additional custody. The court has granted them 4 days custody of Arvind Kejriwal. He'll be produced in court again on April 1st. Srishti Ojha, who's been tracking all those developments, is joining us live right now. Srishti, high drama there in court with Arvind Kejriwal speaking out for the first time and making some very serious charges against the Enforcement Directorate.
Well, yes, definitely. We saw some really interesting arguments and submissions by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, who chose and decided to address the court directly instead of his counsels arguing for him, and not just legal arguments. We also saw some serious
who represented Mr. Kejriwal in court. Okay, we'll try and get in a word from Somnath Bharti. Srishti Ojha, of course, is live with us. My colleague tracked all those developments in court. Srishti, apologies for cutting you short. Please go ahead and tell us what happened in court today.
Well, yes, like I was saying, Delhi's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal decided and chose to address the court directly today instead of his lawyers arguing on his behalf. And not just legal arguments, he's in fact made some really strong allegations, not just against the Enforcement Directorate, but also against BJP. He's also claimed that there's involvement of the party. Some electoral bonds were given by the accused who were involved in this case, who were earlier arrested by the probe agencies, but later were either released on bail or were made approvers in exchange for them making some statements implicating not just Delhi's Chief Minister but also other political leaders. Mr. Kejriwal has made it very clear, according to him, the case is politically motivated. He has claimed that ED is running an extortion racket where money was given by those involved in the case only to get some sort of relief, where they were either made approvers or they were released on bail, and the ED chose to not oppose their bail.
Okay, so that is what Mr. Kejriwal said in court today. Let's listen in. Srishti, stay on with us. Let's listen in to Advocate Somnath Bharti.
कि जो उनके जननायक को इस प्रकार से जेल में बंद किया है, उनका ये बोरिया वस्त्र मानने को तैयार है जनता।
सर, जैसा कि ये भी आया कि भाई दबाव एक आप ये कह सकते हैं कि दबाव डालकर ये पैसा लिया गया, ये बनाया।
नेचुरल सी बात है, डील है, डील।
तो दबाव डालकर जो
डील का हिस्सा ये है कि अरे भाई, अगर आज ईडी अपने पे आ जाए तो भाजपा के बड़े बड़े जेल के सलाखों के पीछे हों।
सर, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आदेश पे सारे बॉन्ड का खुलासा हुआ था, तो क्या आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट का दरवाजा खटखटाएंगे?
भाई, कई लोग जा रहे हैं, चिंता ना करो। कई लोग तैयारी में है सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाने के लिए कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ईडी को बोले कि ये क्या तरीका है कि तू पहले रेड मारता है, फिर तो भाजपा को डोनेशन दिलवाता है, घूस दिलवाता है, फिर केस ड्रॉप कर देता है। ये क्या तरीका है कि नवीन जिंदल, जिसपे तूने कहा कि कोयला घोटाला किया उसने, वो जेल जाएगा। ईडी ने चार्जशीट फाइल किया, तब तूने उसको अपने में शामिल कर लिया। ये क्या मसला है? अजीत पवार 70,000 करोड़ का घोटाला का तुमने इल्जाम लगाया, अपने में शामिल किया, फिर वो पवित्र हो गया। ये क्या मसला है? तो कई लोग जाने को तैयार हैं, और इन चुनाव के मौके पे बहुत कुछ ऐसा होगा जिसका जवाब भाजपा के पास नहीं होगा।
My colleague Munish Pandey, who tracks the Enforcement Directorate for us, is also joining us live at the moment. Munish, the Enforcement Directorate sought 7 days custody of Arvind Kejriwal. They got 4 days. Over the next 4 days, what is going to be the ED's plan of action? What is going to be the line of questioning, if I may, as far as Mr. Kejriwal is concerned?
Well, Paulomi, for the next 4 days, Enforcement Directorate will keep Arvind Kejriwal in their custody. I am standing at the ED headquarters where Arvind Kejriwal is, with the ED officials, and there is a possibility that today also he will be questioned by the ED officials in connection with this case. But for the next 4 days, it is going to be extremely crucial, because on the grounds based on which Arvind Kejriwal has been granted custody, ED has to fulfill those grounds, which means that ED will try to question Arvind Kejriwal with some of the statements which were recorded by the ED officials during the investigation of this case. Also, they are trying to get the password and login of some of the electronic devices of Arvind Kejriwal, and ED in the remand copy they have mentioned this part that 5 electronic gadgets were seized from Arvind Kejriwal's premises during the searches, out of which they have been able to gather some data from one of the digital gadget. But apart from that, there are 4 digital gadgets for which they are seeking help of Arvind Kejriwal to give password and login. Apart from that, they have also summoned some of the excise officials of Punjab department, and this is going to be extremely important, because for the first time in last 2 years, ED has brought in the Punjab angle to this entire investigation. So far, there was a buzz that there was Punjab Excise Department officials were also involved in this entire scam, and now ED has summoned some of those officials to appear before the agency, and their statements will be recorded. So certainly it is going to be a tight-packed days for the Enforcement Directorate for the next 4 days, as well as for Arvind Kejriwal also. Also, we have been given to understand is that ED is trying to record statement of some of the AAP candidates who fought elections on AAP ticket in last Goa Assembly elections, and their statements are being recorded as we speak at Goa office of ED. And there is a high possibility, because there is an allegation that these candidates were given cash money, which was nothing but proceeds of crime, according to Enforcement Directorate. And if their statements reflect this part that they were given cash money by the Aam Aadmi Party, though certainly it is going to be troubling not only for Arvind Kejriwal but also for the entire party, because the possibility of Aam Aadmi Party being made accused in the case is very high in future.
Okay, so that's extremely crucial what Munish is pointing out, the possibility of making the Aam Aadmi Party itself, the political party, and accused in this Delhi excise policy scam case is actually very high in the future.